everybody, welcome back to another edition of the EcoStruxure Machine Expert HVAC training. I'm your host, Leandro Mada, and in this video what we're gonna see is how we can change the firmware of the PLC using the USB cable. So let's go to the presentation. So this particular method that I'm going to show is only for the Modicon M172. Okay, it doesn't work on the Modicon M171 optimized. Okay, it can be used this one for the performance or optimals of the M172. So the idea is to use a USB cable. Okay, it can be this USB cable, one of the Schneider one with the reference like this. Oops. This reference over here. Okay, or this one. So once you have the USB cable, because it's not only short charge, okay, that's on a standard cable, it has the data. So we can connect to, in the front part we have the port for the USB, for the mini USB, so we can connect to the controller and then change the firmware. So it is important to define how are we going to communicate from our PC to the device. So in the commissioning part, when you select the controller, you just need to go to the communication, okay, and change the protocol that is already in there. So you just need to click on settings, select Modbus because it's the one for the USB, and then activate it, go to properties, and then we should be able to see this window, which is the configuration of the settings for the communication port. So the important thing here is to define the port, which is the port linking to the device. So if we open the device manager, it's in the other window, I have already connected the PLC, which is this one. Okay, so as soon as you have this port, is the port that you need to use on the port, and then okay, and that's it. You have already defined the communication. So if we go to the software, here we have here change the settings to Modbus, activate properties, we select the COM port, in my case it's the number 8, okay, and that's it. You see that the COM port has changed. Okay, so we have already defined the new way to communicate to a device, or the way to communicate to a device. So if we go to the presentation, now it's time to connect. Okay, so depending on the version that we have the controller, we already have different pop-up messages. In this case, okay, if you have this message cannot correctly identify, it means that or it's a different PLC or the firmware version is different to the one that you already defined in the project. Okay, so let's open the application. So here, this is the version I have in this particular project because I'm using the version 1.5. Yes, 1.5. So if I connect now, you should be able to see there is no error message, no additional pop-up, because the PLC that I have with me has the latest firmware. So in order to change the firmware, okay, I always recommend to use the latest one. Don't make the downgrade. This case is just to show you how it works. So here, BIOS download, select browse, and it will go directly to the page or the path in your laptop with the software. So I'm going to use the version 12. Okay, and then just download. So let's just see the PLC. That's the PLC, and then I'm just going to download it, just for you to see the behavior. Then if you don't have, for example, you haven't defined the connection first, then you want to see a different message, error messages, or if you haven't selected any firmware, any file for the firmware, and then you also have an error message that I'm going to show you in the presentation. It's just downloading into the target. So almost done. Should be able to find the successful download. Videos. There we go. Firmware downgrade. So as you can see here, it's booting up. The controller is booting up over there. Okay, I will just go back here. Just wait for it to boot up. Sometimes we have the message, the watchdog WDT0, if I'm not wrong. But in there you can, well, it was a little bit flash, but it was the version of the PLC.12 was already there. System fault, that is the thing that I showed you before. So if we connect now with the controller, you can see this. It means that the controller has a different version, okay, compared to the one that I have on my project, okay. That's why you have this message. Okay, identify, yes, proceed anyway. So it's doing the magic. So as you can see, I'm connected with a device that has this version, okay, and it's different to this one. So what we can do, and I will recommend, is the latest version available. So BIOS download, browse 13, and then just download. So we're going to upgrade the version of the firmware. As you can see, it's easy. So let's just wait for, just keep it there, and let's go for the presentation. So this part is done. So if you receive this message, means that you haven't configured the configuration how to communicate the PC with the controller. Okay, so we need to check that. Then this is how to select. So just go again over here, scroll down until you see other operations, and then you should be able to see the BIOS download. There, automatically, if you choose browse, it will go to the path where the firmwares are available for that specific controller that you have. Okay, and then just download the application. Okay, and it's important to have this. Okay, so what's important is not, I didn't mention before, is that we can do this without power supply, which is good. So you just connect the USB directly into the controller. There is no need for power, just upgrade the firmware. That's it. So if we receive this message, BIOS file must not be empty, it means that you haven't selected any firmware file. So we need to select one. Just browse and then just select the firmware. Okay. And this one is active connection is required. So here you have already defined the firmware, but you haven't connected to the device, so you receive this message. Okay. Now we have already performed the downgrade and now the upgrade. Let me just double check the status of this one. It's doing something, I believe. Firmware upgrade has been completely okay, good. So if we go back here and connect, to be able to see that I'm connected and I have the latest version already with the device. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. I don't have any code in there, but this is how it works, how you can make the upgrade or downgrade of the version of the firmware. And it's important to always use the latest one. I believe that's it. So this is how we can upgrade, downgrade the firmware of the PLC M172 performance or optimize using the miniUSB. It's important that if you can, use the Schneider cable or just one that has data. Make sure they have the data possibility. So otherwise it would not work. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I see you on the next one.